Hey everyone, and welcome to my craft room. My name's Julianne Richards and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in southern Tasmania. Today is one of those days where you should just close the door on the craft room and not go in. I'm finding I've been in here all morning and it's about 10 o'clock, 10:30 now, and I have done nothing but make mess. So I thought I would stick with something that I am comfortable with, that I know, to make my video today, and then I might do some tidying up and come back to it tomorrow. So good thing with crafting, there's always tomorrow, and there's always another piece of cardstock and another ribbon that you can redeem yourself with. So today I'm just going to show you how to assemble my free customer card kit for the month of November. So if you purchase from me online during the month of November, use the monthly host code, make a purchase of over $30 Australian plus postage, I will send you the card kit to make this card absolutely free, just as a little thank you gift. Also, if you use the host code, you'll go into the draw for my end of month rewards giveaway. So it's really a win-win. There's not much that can go wrong when you order from me during the month of November. But anyway, I thought I'd show you how to assemble your little card. Here's one of my card kits here. I'm calling this an exercise in optimism because I've already got one kit ready waiting for the first November customer to come along. So that's what the kit looks like when you get it in the mail. Everything you need there except the stamps, which unfortunately due to copyright I'm not allowed to stamp for you, but I've left you a little sentiment box there so you can stamp it with your own choice of Christmas sentiment. So that's what it looks like. So anyway, this is the card kit here. What I thought I might do is show you how I produce these curved sections, just so when you come to do it yourself later on, you know how to do it, rather than just trying to guess from cardboard or cardstock in a card kit. Okay, so in your card kit you have a seaside foam. See, today it wasn't a good day. Seaside foam card base, which is 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, and I've scored it for you in the middle. Then you have a panel of Whisper White, which just fits nicely on the inside there. That's for your insert. You also have, so what you will have is pieces of cardstock and designer series paper that are already embossed and cut into these curves. But I thought today I'll show you how to do the curves because it's not quite as easy as you might think, and when you come to reproduce the card later on you can use these instructions. So what you actually need is a curvy die, and the curvy die I've used for this one is basically called Curvy Dies. Can't be much easier than that. It's a great little die set. It's got a stamp set that goes with it. It's got some of these lovely curves, stitched curves and floral curves in it as well. So I've taken the curvy die. I'm going to break my cardinal rule. I'm actually going to bring my cut and emboss machine into camera. As you know, probably if you watch me a bit, this may make things wobble around a little bit, but there's not much point me doing it off camera to try and show you that. Forgive that bottom plate, it's just about ready to be replaced. Okay, so you've got your curvy die, and just make sure you know which end is the cutting edge. So here with this one I can see that little rim there means that it's going to cut on that edge there. Sorry if that's a little bit close to the camera and blurry. So what you want to do is put the die onto the cards. We'll start with the designer series paper first, and put the die so that it cuts the curvy, sort of a curvy corner. So from that, I might move my hand away so you can actually see, would be good. Maybe bring it in a little bit further in. Just move things so it doesn't disappear completely. There we go, that's probably a bit better. Yeah, so position your die so that it cuts a curve off that top right hand corner. So this is the top right hand corner of the cardstock, so we actually want to take that section away with that sort of curve. So that's where you position that. So pop that through. And forgive the wobbles. Okay, so that leaves us with this first little piece here cut with that curve there. I'll just move this out of the way, and then I'll bring in the piece of cardstock that we actually want to cut as well, the overlay. So this is another piece of Seaside Spray cardstock. It's actually cut exactly the same size as the Designer Series paper. So if you lay them over each other so the edges match exactly, then bring in a pencil, and for this I do actually recommend you use a pencil, not a pen, because you want to be able to rub it out later. I did have my pencil here, yes. Bring in a pencil and just very lightly go along the edge of the curve and draw it onto the piece of cardstock, just so you get the curve there. Then I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine again. Make sure that's the right side. Okay, so then we put our piece of cardstock on there, bring back our curly die, and with the right edge showing again, line that up with the first one so that you get a nice parallel curve happening. You don't want it to sort of be that, well, you might like it like that or you might like it like that, but I like it so that they both run sort of perpendicular with each other. From what I can see, apologies, it's not quite at my usual angle. There we are. So bring our plate back in and we'll cut that one. I think that's the most gentle my die cutting machine's ever been used, because I'm trying not to wobble too much. Okay, so I'll just take that out again briefly. And there we are, we have our two curves cut. So now I'll bring in my eraser and just lightly get rid of that line. Okay, for this card, and what you actually will have in your set is that I have popped it through an embossing folder. This original one, I've used the 3D, subtle 3D embossing folder, but I think for the rest of them I might use the, if I can find it, the Snowflake one, which is here somewhere. Just forgive me. My room is such a mess at the moment. As I say, I think I might just close the door. I will come and do some cleaning up. So I'm going to use the Winter Snow. So I'm going to pop that, both of those together in the folder. So I want it to be with the bumps up the upside. So that's the way there. So I'll pop that through. I won't bring it in again. Put these through the embossing, through the cut and emboss, just like that. So you can do this at home when you're making the card again. But as I say, this has already been done for you with the card kit. Okay, so that's been through, and there we have the two pieces. Get rid of all these little dots. The two pieces of cardstock already cut for our layering. And as I say, that's how your card kit will come to you, already cut and embossed. Now, so now actually what you need just to do to assemble the card is grab your card base back in and some glue. Some glue that's got some glue in it. And glue that. So the top corner obviously goes on the top. So the embossed layer is actually a 1/4 of an inch smaller all round than the card base. So you've got a sort of an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Then we're going to bring in our designer series paper, and just as an aside, this designer series paper is the Snowflake Splendor designer series paper, which is really lovely with the blues and the greens and some hints of sort of Highland heather as well, which is really lovely. So we've got that one on there, and this the final part is we bring this last layer in. Over the top, so you're matching the corners. You don't want to see the designer series paper over the edge, so just line them up completely as well. There we are. Okay, so how's that? That's the first step of actually assembling our My Free card kit for the month of November. So then we're going to bring in the fun bits. We've got a little circle of Whisper White that I've cut with one of the stitched circles. I might just move our card base out of the way for a second. We've got a cute little house with a love heart on it that I've cut from the Home Together die set, which is really cute as well, Home Together. And the 2 little Christmas trees are also from Home Together. So we'll pop those on our circle. Just a little bit of glue, pop that on there, try and keep it straight, which can be tricky on a circle because there's no up and down. That one there, and we'll bring in the big Christmas tree just with a bit of glue on the back. So slip the big Christmas tree up slightly up under the little house so it looks like it's in the background, just like that. Try and keep them straight together so they're in the same direction. And then the second little Christmas tree, I'm just going to pop that so it looks like it's in the foreground, just like that, just with some glue. So there we are. So we've got our 2 little houses there sitting on our circle. So we're going to put that circle onto our card base with some glue. Just at the bottom there, just at the bottom of the curve. Okay, there. Make sure they all look relatively straight compared to the sides of the card. Okay, so you will also have 2 little pieces of vellum that have been cut with the Arrange a Wreath. So this is actually one of the wreaths from Arrange a Wreath, but I've chopped it into segments, so you've got 2 segments of that there. So you might choose whether you want to keep them long like that or whether you'd like to cut them a little bit shorter. I've given you sort of segment parts here big enough that you can just decide how large or small you want to keep them. I might keep these ones larger because I cut the other ones back on the original card. Just pop those under there, just a tiny bit of glue. Coming out, my friend. No, that's good. You pop some glue up under here as well, just if you're worried about it flapping around a bit. But I quite like it with a bit of dimension to it, so I'm going to leave that sort of coming out at the card a little bit. Okay, so I've also given you some rhinestones, so there should be 5 rhinestones in your pack, and we can pop those. You can pop those basically where you want around the card. Got some big ones there. Oh. And a couple of the smaller ones as well. and the medium ones. There should be varying sizes in there. But whatever method you use to work out where you put your rhinestones, it's totally fine. Okay, so we've got those. Now the last thing, or a couple of last things to do, is you've got your inside panel, and so not to waste the little heart that actually was in the middle of our house, I've just given it to you in the pack. If you'd like to just pop that, say, on the inside of your card. Bit too much glue on that one. And then glue your panel inside. There you go. You can put stamp a sentiment in there as well if you want to. So the last thing to do is the sentiment on the outside. I've given you quite a long 1/2 inch wide sentiment box. You can choose what, if you've got a Merry Christmas or something that suits there, you can use that. I'm going to use the sentiment from the Triangle stamp set. There's a little cute sentiment here which is Christmas is best when we're together, which I think is quite nice with the little house on there. Sort of the house sort of implies homeliness and togetherness and family and stuff, so I think it's quite appropriate, and it's just a lovely size to fit onto that little 1/2 inch sentiment box as well. So I'll bring in I'm going to do it in Seaside Spray because that matches the rest of the card. So as I say, you can choose whatever ink and whatever sentiment you want. Don't even really have to use my sentiment box if you don't want to, or the one that I've provided if it's not big enough. But this one fits just nice. And I thought I would just cut that with a little banner at the end, just for something a bit different. I'm going to be popping it up there. Oops, sorry, bring it down a bit. I'm going to be popping it up there on the card. So just trim the edge there. And come in with a tiny banner end. There we go. You should also have some dimensionals in your pack, and I've got some here. I'm going to use my ends here. Always use your ends, don't waste them. Okay, and the last thing, just pop that onto the card. About there. You could really move it anywhere you like. If you didn't want to cover over your little house, you take it up further. I wonder how that would go there. Maybe I could pop it there on this one just to show you. It doesn't really matter where you pop it. I'll put it this one there. It'll be slightly different to the previous one just to show you. There we go. Make sure it's straightish. Right, so there is my card. I'll bring this other one in. This is my free card for the month of November. If you purchase at least $30 plus postage from me during November, as I say, I will send you the kit all ready to go to make this card here. I like the colours. They are my colours. You guys probably realise that by now, that I love the blues and the greens. Yeah, and so this is really nice. So as I say, purchase from me in November. I will send you the card kit and you can assemble the little card just following the instructions that you've just watched. If you have all these things at home, go for it. I'm happy for you to use the design to make your own cards as well. It's out there for anyone to use, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about any of these products, would like to place an order or join Stampin' Up, please drop me a line, drop me a message via Facebook or email. All my details are on my business page. Have a great day. I'm going to tidy up now and go for a walk in the sunshine, I think, just to clear my crafting blues. But anyway, thanks for joining me, and I will talk to you all again soon.